Welcome to Dopamine Clinic, the place where you'll unlock the secrets of your mind and transform your life. In today's episode, we'll explore the subconscious mind, the hidden force that shapes our beliefs, actions, and ultimate potential. You've got 1,327 followers, group chats, snaps, DMs, likes, but you still feel alone. You post a story and refresh it 12 times to see who watched, but nobody really saw you. And here's the part you're scared to say out loud. Even when I'm with people, I feel invisible. This isn't some mood. This is a silent epidemic, and no one's talking about it. We live in the most connected time in human history. You can message anyone, anywhere, instantly. So why do more young people than ever feel disconnected, empty, anxious, and isolated? Because social media gives you access, not intimacy. It gives you noise, not nourishment. It gives you replies, not relationships. You've been tricked into thinking interaction equals connection. But a heart emoji isn't care, a streak isn't love, and having 1,000 people in your followers doesn't mean you have even one person who truly hears you. Malik was a chill, likable 18-year-old. His phone was never dry. Girls replied. Boys hyped him up. His Instagram, solid. TikTok, funny. Snapchat, constant. But he DM'd me one night. Bro, I'm done pretending. I feel empty as hell. When I asked why, he said. Because none of them would notice if I stopped talking. He wasn't suicidal. He was spiritually invisible. He had attention, but not connection, and that difference. It's what's killing people quietly. Here's what social media really does to your mind. 1. It simulates connection. Just enough attention to trick your brain into thinking you're bonding. 2. It prevents vulnerability. You only show what looks good. No pain, no depth, no truth. 3. It creates quantity over quality. More followers equals more status. But when SAT hits the fan, who can you actually call? Malik was always online, but never seen. Because he was feeding off digital crumbs, when his soul needed a feast of realness. Loneliness isn't just about being alone. It's about being unknown. You're surrounded by people, yet nobody knows what's keeping you up at night, sees your fears, asks how you really are, notices when your voice gets quieter, and worst of all, you start to believe it's your fault. Maybe I'm just too much. Maybe I'm not worth bothering. Maybe I'm just meant to be alone. That's not truth. That's trauma speaking. But you can unlearn that voice. Let's get uncomfortable. If your connection depends on memes, filters, replies to stories, TikTok comments, it's not real. So the first thing we did with Malik, a 7-day blackout, no socials, no passive interaction. For the first 3 days, he was twitchy, anxious, he said. I didn't realize how much of my worth came from notifications, but by day 5, he noticed something insane. He started feeling again, not dopamine hits, actual feelings. Boredom, curiosity, loneliness, anger, peace. All the emotions he'd been muting with scrolls, they came rushing back. Because silence reveals what noise tries to hide. I told Malik, you're not starving for people. You're starving for depth. So we gave him one rule, one real connection per day. Not surface level. It had to be a voice note, a call, an in-person conversation, or a vulnerable message with 0 emojis. He started small, messaged his cousin. I know we don't talk much, but I miss when we used to just hang out for real. The cousin replied, Damn, I thought I was the only one who felt that. That's the secret. Everyone's pretending they're fine, just like you. But someone has to go first. And when you go first, you unlock truth. Most people are caught in the loop. Consume, react, post, refresh, repeat. But nothing sticks, nothing satisfies, because nothing is real. So I challenged Malik to create signal, things that last. He started writing letters to himself, recording 60-second truth talks and no edits, sending audio journals to close friends, sharing one real story a week with no filter. People started replying. This hit harder than anything on my feed, because realness cuts through chaos. Here's something no one tells you. You're not just lonely because people don't understand you. You're lonely because you trained yourself to hide. Malik realized he never let anyone in. Not really. Why? Because somewhere deep down he believed if they saw the real me, they'd leave. That's trauma, and it had to be faced. He started writing. What parts of me do I hide the most? Who told me I was too much or not enough? What kind of people do I keep attracting? And why? It hurts, but it opened the door, and pain is always the doorway to connection, never the enemy. Malik didn't become instantly social. He didn't start partying or make 50 new friends. But he became present. He sat across from people and saw them. He spoke with truth, not filters. He listened without checking his phone. He cried in front of someone. He laughed and meant it. And for the first time in years, he said, I don't feel alone anymore, even when I'm by myself. Malik wasn't lonely anymore, not because he gained more followers, not because someone started texting him every night, not because he filled his phone with new numbers. He felt less lonely because for the first time, he finally started showing up for himself. Let's get something clear. You don't beat loneliness by having more people around you. You beat it by learning how to be with people fully without hiding behind a screen or a fake smile. That's what Malik learned. We created a presence ritual before every interaction. Put the phone face down or leave it behind. Take one deep breath before speaking. Maintain eye contact when someone speaks. Don't interrupt, just listen. No multitasking. One conversation, one soul. At first, it felt awkward, but something shifted. People started opening up around him, not because they changed, but because Malik finally became a safe place for realness. Most people never question their circle. Malik did. He realized his group chats were full of dry conversations, zero depth, people who never reached out first. Vibes, not values, so he cut the noise. Not out of hate, out of protection. And we built a new standard. If I have to hide my truth around you, we're not close. That was the rule. He started seeking people who held eye contact longer than 5 seconds, asked how are you, really, didn't flinch when emotions got raw, showed up without needing an invite. That's a tribe. Even if it's just 2 to 3 people, because 3 deep connections beat 300 shallow ones. One of the biggest lies modern culture sells men is this. No one wants to hear your feelings. Stay strong. Keep it light. And that lie is why millions are suffering in silence. Malik rewrote that belief. He started initiating depth. He told a friend, I've been numb lately and I don't know why. He shared, I realized I've never actually told anyone I get anxious in groups. He said to a girl once, I'm not looking for attention. I just want something real, even if it's quiet. You know what happened? Nobody laughed. Nobody left. In fact, people leaned in. Because when you go first, people remember how to be honest again. That's dark psychology. Vulnerability disarms resistance, not weakness or influence. Loneliness isn't just emotional. It's logistical. Most youths today don't even know how to bond anymore. So we created connection rituals in Malik's weekly life. 1 a weekly deep talk walk, 1 hour, no phones, with one person. 1 real topic: pain, purpose, fear, future. Walk and talk, side by side. No distractions. 2 truth table challenge. He invited a few friends to dinner. Everyone had to answer one question with brutal honesty. What are you scared of right now? Who hurt you the most? When did you last cry? People were hesitant. But by the end of the night, everyone thanked him. Why? Because deep down, Everyone's tired of pretending. The deepest part of Malik's journey wasn't fixing his friendships. It was facing the real cause of his emptiness. He had abandoned himself. All the memes, distractions, relationships, they were just noise to cover the fact that he hadn't been honest with himself in years. We gave him a sacred space, the evening mirror ritual. Each night before bed, stand in the mirror for 2 minutes. Ask, did I abandon myself today? If yes, write it down. If no, write one moment he showed up. Sometimes the answer was yes. But each night, the reflection started to shift. He wasn't lonely anymore, because he finally had his own back. After 90 days of full rebuild, Malik wasn't just healed. He was dangerous, not because he became cold or emotionless, but because he became a lighthouse in a world full of filters. He started hosting circles. He called his dad and said, "I forgive you." He reached out to 3 old friends, not to reconnect, but to say, "I see you, I know you're tired. If you need a real one, I'm here." They cried, all 3, because that's what real connection does. It restores the human soul. You're not weird for feeling empty. You're not broken for wanting more than replies and likes. You're not too sensitive, you're just awake. And now that you know the truth, you don't need 50 new people. You just need you, and 1 or 2 souls who see what you've been hiding. Loneliness doesn't always sound like silence. Sometimes it sounds like notifications. Sometimes it looks like smiling faces on screens. Sometimes it looks like you laughing in public and crying on your pillow. But there's a way out. Cut the fake, call in the real, lead with truth, and you'll find something stronger than popularity. Peace, presence, real human love. This is Dopamine Clinic. We don't fake connection. We build it, brick by brick, soul by soul. You don't need more people, you need more presence. Start there, and everything will follow.